In a few moments, we're going to have several speakers for you. I'd ask that you let them give their statements, and then afterwards we'll have a brief Q&A. We'll have President Greg Finvez, David Carter, our UTPD Chief of Police, and Chief Brian Manley will be speaking with you here shortly. And the Chancellor, I'm sorry, Chancellor of the University System is here as well. We'll begin with Greg Finvez, President Greg Finvez, if you'll come to the podium. Thank you.
Earlier this afternoon, a tragedy struck the heart of the University of Texas campus. One of our students has been killed, and 3 others who we believe were students were seriously injured in an unconscionable, violent attack. The police do not believe there is an ongoing threat to the campus at this time. The suspect is in custody, and UTPD, along with other law enforcement agencies, APD and Department of Public Safety, are continuing to investigate, and the chief, UTPD chief, will provide additional information, and we will provide updates as the situation progresses. We have, out of respect for the victims and their families, we have canceled classes for the remainder of the day and events through the evening. We ask that all our students call home, call your parents to let them know that you are safe. We ask our faculty and staff to help each other and reach out to family members also. At this time of this awful tragedy, our thoughts and prayers are with the victims and the families of this incredibly senseless attack, which attacks the entire UT campus and UT family. We ask any interested citizen or UT parent to call our offices. The phone number is 1-800-657-9400. This breaks my heart to have to announce this. It breaks my heart that any of our students are touched by tragedy. They come here to learn, to look to the future, and our faculty and staff are here to nurture our students and provide them the education that they deserve. We are going to actively investigate this along with law enforcement and do everything we can to continue to work on making campus safety a top priority. I'd like to introduce Chief David Carter of the University of Texas Police Department.
Thank you, Mr. President. Good afternoon. I'm David Carter, Chief of Police for the University of Texas here at Austin. I'll give you kind of a rundown of exactly what UTPD responded to, the information that we have, and try to answer your questions the best that I can. At about 1:49 p.m. this afternoon, UTPD received a call of an individual who actually attacked or assaulted somebody near the Gregory Gym, outside of the Gregory Gym. In less than 2 minutes, we had a police officer on scene. The officer observed the individual walking away from an individual who was down on the ground. He was armed with a large Bowie-style hunting knife. Officer confronted him, drew his weapon, ordered the suspect to get on the ground, which he did comply. So we took the individual into custody. The officer discovered that, unfortunately, in addition to that single individual who had been stabbed, within about a block, there were 3 additional victims, all male, all determined to be students who were also stabbed. So we had a total of 4 victims. 1, unfortunately, is deceased. The other 3 are currently receiving treatment at Brackenridge Hospital at this time. The information I can provide you at this time is that the individual involved that we have in custody is named Kendricks J. White. It's Kendricks, is Kendrex J. White, black male, 4'10" of 96. He also appears to be a student here with the university as well. And it was described to us that the individual calmly walked around the plaza, the Gregory Gymnasium Plaza, and basically attacked these 4 unfortunate students there. Obviously, our hearts and prayers go out, like the President said, to the families involved in this tragic event. I also kind of want to reaffirm the importance for parents that have concerns to call 1-800-657-9400, and the university will be ready to receive your call and assist as needed. One of the things I can say is that at this particular time, this is something that obviously rattles any community, and certainly a college campus community like ours. We are very fortunate here at UTPD, or the University of Texas. We have great partnership with both the Austin Police Department as well as the Department of Public Safety, and they're both assisting us in terms of investigation. We're going to be working specifically with APD Homicide in the investigation of this particular tragic event. Additionally, also I will say is that we are implementing, once again, going to 12-hour shifts for UTPD to reassure our community that UTPD is for them. Likewise, Chief Manley from APD as well as Commander Ortiz from DPS have assured us that they're here to help us as well in terms of whether it's additional patrols around campus. We recognize that there have been a significant number of discussions on social media about all kinds of things that we cannot confirm are true. Other kind of related incidents involving violence that are either on or around campus. Each and every time we receive a call, we share that information collectively, working with APD and DPS as well to understand what happened here today and bring the offender to justice. Again, I want to stress that the campus is at this time, there's no ongoing threat from this individual. He was brought into custody in 2 minutes, but unfortunately, those 2 minutes, he was able to injure some of our students.
Can you repeat spelling of his name?
I'm sorry?
Can you repeat his name and spelling?
Yes. Kendricks J. White. That's the first name is Kendrex. Middle initial J, last name is White, common spelling. And with that, I'll have to.
Birthday was what again, 5/10/96?
4/10 of 96.
Is there any suggestion that the victims were related, or any suggestion of a motive why they were chosen?
You know, at this particular time, we do not know. We have upwards of 25 witnesses, so this investigation is going to take a little while. We have obviously 25 witnesses, most of which are actually students on campus, so we have to take care of them, get the information from them. So his motivation, what was going through his mind, I can't answer at this time.
Do we know if it's related to the graffiti we've seen on the fraternity houses?
We do not know that. In other words, it would be premature for me to indicate or suggest one thing or another at this point.
Was the campus emergency alert system ever utilized?
Yes, a text was sent out.
Was the siren used?
No.
Why
No.
is that?
Because the siren would have indicated there's something else going on, like a lockdown or something along those lines. However, as soon as the officers arrived, they took the individual into custody, so there was no ongoing threat at that point.
What would warrant a lockdown?
If, for example, we had responded and we didn't know where the individual was, because then you could say that there was obviously an ongoing threat to campus that we would need to respond to.
Thank you.
Sorry.
Do you have any information about why Moody College of Communications was evacuated?
There were other reports of other kinds of things. That's misinformation. I don't know the specifics on that, but I know that there's no ongoing threat.
We're hearing the message out saying, West Campus residents remain inside with doors locked. We will keep you up to date with confirmed information. Is that the other incidents that you had referred to or alluded to kind of discreetly?
I'm not sure which one you're referring to.
It's what's happening right now near 26th Street.
Okay.
Oh, that would be a wrong jurisdiction.
Okay. We're in close working with APD in terms of, but at the present time, we're not aware of any active threat other than the fact that, as I mentioned before, there's a lot of speculation. Anytime there's a large incident like this, you're going to see information going across social media, and hopefully we can get in front of that and share enough information for our entire community so they understand what's going on.
That's from USG, UT student government. I wanted to ask you really quick about the alert that went out. I guess it went out about 2:14 or so is what some students were telling us. About a half hour after the incident had happened.
I don't know the time.
If the subject had not been in custody, would you have used that alert sooner?
So one of the things that I just mentioned before, if there is an active, ongoing situation on this campus where we have somebody that's causing active harm, and we've responded, but we don't know, then obviously we're going to do other kinds of issues. We're going to put out that emergency notification. We'll use the outdoor warning system. In this particular case, the individual was taken into custody instantly, basically as soon as the officers were on scene. So you can understand that while people are obviously concerned and sharing information back and forth with each other in terms of what may or may not have happened, the situation was resolved fairly quickly.
I think it's to say that there was a guy with a concealed carry permit who flashed his gun at the suspect. Have you heard that at all, or do you know if that played any role in getting him stopped?
I have no information on that.
Can you confirm that all the victims were members of fraternities?
I cannot.
Was there anything that tied the victims together? Did they know each other, or was this strictly random?
We absolutely don't know at this time. In other words, I would suggest to you that there was a lot of students walking at that particular time. The fact that the individual actually didn't just attack people that were right there. He walked a little ways and then stabbed another individual and so forth. So there's no reason to believe that they're actually connected.
Excuse me if you said this were, what race were they? Were they all white or white?
The students, I believe, were, I think, 3 white, 1 Asian.
Can you tell us if there was a heightened alert for Greek students before this incident happened? We've been told by students that fraternities and sororities were telling each other to not wear their Greek letters and turn shirts inside out. Was that something your department was already aware of?
So, you know, obviously the university, and I've said this many times to many of you, is that University of Texas is in effect a medium-sized city. Our daytime population is somewhere around 80,000, so there's going to be all kinds of issues. We're also a community of folks that are highly engaged in a whole variety of different things. So the issue of vandalism involving fraternities, that was known. To my knowledge, I don't know if there's any specific threats to that community, or if that's tied into this particular incident here. I want to stress today, because we got to interview at least 25 people that were actual witnesses, but also look at other folks and friends and family, and all those kind of things, to see if we can understand what happened here. So I don't have anything to say for certain that there's a connection. I'm not saying it's not.
You know, if the individual that was arrested was connected with any group or anything like that claims responsibility for this incident?
That I'm not aware of. In other words, he's basically just been taken into custody. He's obviously going to be interrogated in that process. What information he's providing detectives at this point, both UTPD detectives and APD homicide detectives, I do not know.
Do you know his year and major?
I don't.
He is a student, though, and
Yes.
okay. You know how long he's been here?
I don't have that right now.
Any idea what the banner could mean that was hung on, I think it was outside on the communications building, that said tuition pays for moms?
You know, I don't think there's any connection to this particular incident. I don't know what the motivation. There's political banners and flyers that come up from time to time. I'm not sure what that is. Okay, so I need to make a correction. I appreciate everybody's patience on this. For our parent number, this is really important to get. The actual number is 1-866-657-9400. So instead of, I think we said 1-800 before, but it's actually 866-657-9400. And again, that number is for parents, loved ones to call in if they have concerns.
Forgive me if I missed this. Did you give an age of the victim when he passed away, or anything else?
I believe all the victims were in their either 20 or 21.
So given the statements you made earlier about the timing the alert went out, do you think 30 minutes was acceptable? 30 minutes passed between the time EMS tweeted that there was a situation going on campus and then the UT alert went out about 30 minutes later.
There's two things. The university tries to put out information as quickly as possible so people will know. But there's a difference between putting out information to help people understand and alleviate their fears, and then also putting out an emergency notification. So we have a timely warning system. So this would have fell within time warning because there was no ongoing threat. We had him in custody as soon as we arrived. So it's a little bit, there's two different situations. Is there somebody that's actually running around that's actually was doing this at the time? That's where we would use the emergency notification protocol, including using the audible alerts and the outdoor warning systems and stuff like that. So that's an information thing. Obviously, you want to put out information as quickly as you can, but you want to make sure you get it right.
Okay, we're gonna do 2 more questions.
Has he been charged with anything specific yet?
He is currently being interrogated at this point. It'll probably be a while before we actually charge him.
Can you tell us, has he said anything you can tell us this point?
No, not to the officers on scene. That would be something we have to find out through the process right now.
So at this point, you believe he's working completely alone? You don't think he's connected to anyone else who wants to cause harm to any other students?
I don't know what his motivation is, but we don't have any information that would suggest there's something else going on. If we find that out, if we believe there's a threat, we're definitely going to let you know.
Okay, we'll be giving you updates as details become available to us. Thank you all for coming. We really appreciate it. And that concludes our press conference today.
How are we talking to